Webby Bob.
Alright fellas, you know what Plants vs. Zombies is. You know I'm pretty good at the game. If you don't think I am, then go ahead and ask a good friend of mine, internet funny man, and man who is probably going to kill me, James.
Like, it's totally, like, yeah. Like, you just fucking absolutely dumpster the game. It's pretty fucking incredible. I don't quite understand why God graced you with the ability to play Plants vs. Zombies like this. Like, everyone has one thing, and Freelance was like, yeah, I want to be good at Plants vs. Zombies. I just want to be so fucking annoyingly amazing at this kid's game on the phone that I can just absolutely school anyone on the real ideas of Plants vs. Zombies. The meta, if you will.
Alright, here are the rules for this run. This is going to be a normal playthrough of Plants vs. Zombies where it's just going through the main story with no mods or enhancements to stop bugs. Secondly, there is not going to be any new game, and I am not going to start off with any plants besides the pea shooter. Thirdly, there will be little to no exploits or glitches to help me play. I'm also going to be playing through this game on Discord so my friends can watch. For those of you not in the know, Plants vs. Zombies is a tower defense game that was made by Popcap. Plants vs. Zombies was one of the first mainstream tower defense games to ever come out and is considered very casual. So enough for the history lesson, let's get to the video.
Alright, here's the run through of this run. I have to go through 5 groups that have 10 levels of them. Each group is going to have 8 plants, and the 5th level of each group is a minigame, and the 10th level of each group is a conveyor belt boss level.
The yard has 5 lanes with 10 tiles on it. While you are planting your garden to protect against the zombies, you usually want to put sun-producing plants at the back, and then put the more offensive plants and defensive plants at the front. Put them at the front because that's where the zombies come from, dummy. Level 1-1 is easy. You're given 1 lane and 1 plant to protect your lawn. That plant is the pea shooter. The pea shooter fires 1 pea for volley, and that pea does 1 damage. Along with plants, you're also introduced to zombies. These zombies are a normal zombie that has 10 health, and a flag zombie that also has 10 health but moves slightly faster. A flag zombie appearing announces that a wave of zombies is coming towards you. The next level, 1-2, gives the player a bit more area to defend, opening up 3 lanes instead of the just 1. No new zombies are introduced, but the sunflower is now available. The sunflower is an economy plant that allows you to produce more sun to get more offensive plants. It is seen as the most generic type of sun producer in the game, and it has a normal sun production. 1-3 continues to only have 3 lanes to defend, but you are given a new plant to work with called the cherry bomb. The cherry bomb can instantly kill most zombies in a 3x3 radius around it. You are also introduced to a new zombie called the Conehead zombie. Conehead zombie also has 29 HP. Whenever I see a Conehead zombie in the lane, I am usually comfortable fighting against it when I have 2 pea shooters in that same lane. I also usually conserve my cherry bomb for the end of this level so I can get rid of the final wave without having to stress. 1-4 opens up all lanes on the garden. You also get the walnut. These nuts, haha got 'em, are a defensive plant that are used to block zombies from eating other plants and getting forward in the yard. For the most part, I don't use walnuts because they are a very good defensive option, but walnuts don't kill zombies, and without killing zombies, you don't win the level. Play correctly and try to get your sun economy up at the start of the level, you'll be fine. Make sure to place down pea shooters in the right places, and if you really need to, place down a walnut to stall a conehead zombie. I also like using the cherry bomb at the end of the level just to get rid of that big wave. 1-5 is a minigame. You meet Crazy Dave who gives you a shovel, but we don't need Crazy Dave. This is pro PvZ. We know what we're doing. The game's quite simple. Just send walnuts down the lane to collide with zombies and keep 2 explosive nuts because they do the exact same damage as a cherry bomb for the end of the level to deal with the giant mob, and you should be fine. Also, it makes James pissed off.
I saw him going in the river.
1-6 is where the game starts getting easy. You get the potato mine. The potato mine is so good for starting a good sun economy at the start since it only costs 25 sun to kill 2 zombies. But it does take a bit of time to charge up, but it does constitute an insta-kill if a zombie walks over it once it's armed. New zombie is introduced called the pole vaulting zombie. The pole vaulting zombie has 17 health and can pole vault over the first plant that it collides with in lane. A quick way to deal with the zombie is to place a potato mine underneath it. Do this, then the potato mine will not be armed and the zombie will not trigger it, but it will leave enough time for the potato mine to trigger for another zombie, and also so the pole vaulter will no longer have its pull or run quite as fast. Doing this strategy also makes James pissed off, so that's why it's also worth it.
What
Look at this,
happened?
James, look!
What just happened?
Just keep on playing the way you're playing, and you should get through this level fine. Use a cherry bomb in the end if you want. 1-7 gives you the ice pea. The ice pea costs a little bit more than a normal pea shooter, but it does slow zombies when it hits them. Only put 1 down per lane because that's when they're at their most effective, without exuberant sun prices. Sadly, the snow pea is not yellow. Use potato mines at the start and try to get a good sun economy, and try to get snow peas in the first lane closest to the sunflowers. And you should be fine. Make sure to use potato mines and walnuts if you need to. 1-8 gives you control of a chomper. Chompers aren't too good. While they can kill 1 zombie every once in a while, they are simply not worth the weight and sun cost. But I did complete the level with them. 1-8 also introduces buckethead zombies. They have 65 health. Usually try to use an insta-kill against them early on in these levels, or at least have 3 pea shooters in a lane. 1-9 is the penultimate level of daytime, and it introduces the repeater. Man, it's pretty funny if you think about it, because like it has P in the name, and because it's a repeat of the pea shooter, and it shoots twice because it repeats. It also shoots 2 peas, both peas doing 1 damage. It is a direct upgrade from the pea shooter with only a doubled sun cost, but only at the cost of 1 tile. But it's usually only used sparingly in 1 or 2 lanes because of its sun cost. Level 110 is the last level during daytime, in the front yard. Conveyor belt levels are easy, man. The seeds come in from a conveyor belt at the top of the screen, and they don't cost any sun. That means you get free pea shooters, you get free repeaters, you get free everything. Soon enough, if you're playing it right, you should have a full screen of plants where the zombies can barely inch their way in. The first group of levels in Plants vs. Zombies goes by pretty fast, just because it is the most simple level with the least amount of things to worry about. But let's see what the night has in store for us. Alright, nighttime. As always, Laura Sigahara's soundtrack bops in this game. If you don't know, she is the composer of Plants vs. Zombies. She did an amazing job on the music. She also sang a Minecraft song parody. Man, this makes me feel old just looking at this. The nighttime in the front yard is a little bit different than the daytime. Now graves pop up sometimes, and also, sun doesn't fall from the sky. This means that getting a sun economy at the start is a lot harder since you don't get 25 sun just for existing. Thankfully, you are given the puff shroom. The puff shroom costs 0 sun to plant, and you should just spam it. It's pretty good at just taking down normal zombies and usually takes 3 puff shrooms to take down 1 cone head. It only shoots 3 blocks ahead of it. The antithesis to the puff shroom is the newspaper zombie. The newspaper zombie has 17 health, and once the newspaper is destroyed in front of it, it starts running faster. If you want to deal with it, just put a pea shooter at the end of the lane and get rid of the newspaper quick. It's kind of weird because the format of getting news in a newspaper is just as dead as the zombie. You're going to be hearing me say this a lot with the early night levels. Just spam puff shrooms and try to get a good sun economy at the start. For these levels, you'll be using pea shooters until you get a better alternative later on. In 2-2, you get the sun shroom. The sun shroom starts producing less sun at the start, only giving 15 every time it pops one out. But as time goes on, you will get 25 sun as it grows. This is great for night levels because the sun plants cost less, and you're going to be using plants that cost less later on too. In 2-3, you're introduced to the fume shroom. The fume shroom only shoots 4 tiles ahead of it, but it also penetrates all zombies in that area. It's good for taking out a bunch of waves of basic zombies, which is what you'll be finding during these nighttime levels. The fume shroom also directly counters the new zombie, the screen door zombie. The screen door zombie has the same amount of health, which is 55, as a buckethead zombie, but the screen door can be penetrated by the fume shroom's bubbles, only making it have the health of a normal zombie. Just plant down those puff shrooms to get rid of those zombies and you should be fine. It's funny because the poof shroom like farts and poos in their direction. That's pretty funny. 4, you get the Grave Buster. The Grave Buster finally lets you get rid of the graves that you can't plant on in your yard. I also don't know what a Grave Buster is. I genuinely don't know what kind of plant that is, but it's cool looking. Like, it's got a cool design. There's no new zombies this time around, so just go ahead and play normally, and you should be fine. 5 is another minigame level, Whack-A-Zombie. Whack-A-Zombie is alright. You just click on zombies and they die. Coneheads take 2 hits, bucketheads take 3 hits. Sometimes they drop sun. Only use the Grave Buster because it makes it so they can't spawn some places. And, you know, bonk. You get a plant called the Hypno Shroom. It is an insta-kill to any zombie and will change it to a passive zombie that will help you out and then leave your yard. This is good considering a football zombie that has 80 health runs into your garden now. A football zombie is very tough, so if you have to, just please use the Hypno Shroom on it, and use walnuts if you do not have a Hypno Shroom ready. In 2-7, you get the Scaredy Shroom. Scaredy Shroom's pretty alright. I mean, it's not the best, and it's good at fighting against a disco zombie, I guess, but it's just a worse pea shooter, but it does make up for that with its only 25 sun cost. You get one of the best freezing plants in the game, the Ice Shroom. The Ice Shroom is just a global freeze on every zombie. It's a pretty cool plant. Whenever you feel overwhelmed, and the Ice Shroom should let the opportunity arise for fume shrooms to really work their magic on the zombies. This works well against the dancing zombie and the backup dancer zombie. The dancer zombie summons 4 backup dancer zombies on each direction of it, and it will continue to do that until it dies. Fume shrooms are good for penetrating those defenses and killing it fast. If you really need to, use an Ice Shroom. The dancer zombie originally looked like Hee Hee in his dancing zombie musical, but once he died, they decided it wouldn't be a good idea to keep that design around. Plus, I'm pretty sure they pissed off his estate. No new zombies appear in 2-9, the penultimate level of nighttime, but you are given the Doom Shroom. The Doom Shroom basically fills the same role as the Cherry Bomb, but it leaves a giant crater behind at the end of it. I don't really like using it too much, but it is nice to have if you just want to get rid of the final wave very fast because of its giant insta-kill blast radius. Last level of night is a conveyor belt level, dude. You don't need my help. Just keep on doing what you're doing. You'll do fine. And if you don't, that's your fault. The plants are free. The zombies are now done with their assault on our front lawn, so now they will be going to the backyard pool to fight us. Let's see if we'll drip or drown in this backyard. Alright, before we continue, let me just say that my video editing software is poo-poo, it's trash, it's dumb, it's stupid, and I kinda maybe sorta lost 2 levels of gameplay. You know what? I've already put enough time into this. I'm not going back. I hate to say it. It's the pool. You look at the pool. What do you have? You have 6 lanes now instead of 5. And now you have to place the lily pads down in the middle lanes to plant plants on them. This is unless they're aquatic plants. The Ducky Tube zombie, which is just a variation of a normal zombie with a ducky tube that can float in the water. It comes in cone head, bucket head, and normal variations. Also meet a snorkel zombie. The snorkel zombie has the same health as a basic zombie, but it also hides under the water until it peeks out to bite something. Usually try putting something durable like a walnut in front of it so it can't kill your plants. During this time you also get the tangle kelp. Think of it as a 2-way instant kill potato mine without a charge. It's pretty good, but it is very situational. It can be used to take out snorkel zombies, but I just use a walnut instead. You also get the squash, which is like a tangle kelp, but multi-purpose on land and water, but you need to plant a lily pad below it. Also double squash, and it squashes things. So you get the 3-peater. The 3-peater shoots in 3 lanes, and it's funny because it's a repeat of the repeater, but it's been repeated twice, so that means there's 3. So it's a 3-peater. All right, enough for that bad editing wrap up. Now back to the actual pool. Throughout all those levels, I'm just using sunflowers at the back, and then I'm making snow peas after that, and then repeaters. And then I'm putting walnuts at the front, but only in the pool because zombies can pop up at the pool at the end of the wave. During the middle of the pool level with 3-5, we have the minigame Zombie Nimble, Zombie Quick. God, I love buttons. These are little, have less health, and are faster. It's another conveyor belt level. You're gonna do fine. Use cherry bombs and walnuts to block off football zombies, and you should be fine. In 3-6, you get the jalapeno. The jalapeno is a lane-wide clear that kills everything in its path. This is good considering you also have to face against the zomboni. The zombie is on what I can only pronounce as a zomboni, and it leaves an ice trail behind it. The ice trail will get deleted if you use a jalapeno. If you don't, then an ice sledding team full of zombies will come down your lane. I have no footage of this because I never let that happen. As soon as I see a zomboni, I delete it from the game code. Do the same and you should be fine for that level. Get the spikeweed in 3-7. It is just spikes on the ground. Does damage. 1 per tick, like a 1 pea from a pea shooter. And basically, they step on it, makes them go ouchies. It also counteracts the zomboni, which is pretty cool. Nothing else to report on this level, nothing new, but it's fun. Basically, just defend against the zombies like you have been, and you should be doing fine. In 3-8, you get the torchwood. Get rid of those snow peas, put repeaters there, and then put torchwoods where the last row repeaters would be. And that doubles the damage of the repeaters. But the reason you get rid of the ice peas is that if an ice pea passes through a torchwood, then it no longer chills the zombies. It turns into a normal pea. You also get introduced to the Dolphin Rider zombie. The Dolphin Rider zombie is a pole vaulting zombie on steroids. I don't exactly know how to deal with him besides trying to place a lily pad at the front, but that just means zombies will be able to eat it normally anyways unless you have enough firepower, and they come fast, no homo, and it's just horrible. They're pretty okay to fight against. They take my plants sometimes. Difficult zombie. 3-9, you get the tall nut. It's like a nut, but tall. Basically, it's just like a walnut, but it has more health, and zombies cannot vault over it. It's pretty good considering you have to fight against pole vaulting zombies and Dolphin Rider zombies now. So, make sure to counter everything like the zombonis and the pole vaulters and the Dolphin Riders. You should be fine. Make sure to place those torchwoods down and have repeaters. Final level is like a conveyor belt level guy. You just use the spam 3-peaters all over the place. Use those torchwoods. Use those spike weeds. Use those tall nuts. You'll be fine. Well, Now that the pool is over, it's time for a little nighttime. And it seems like things are going to get a little foggy from here on out. Day is to night as the pool is to fog levels, but the fog levels have a little extra gimmick. It is that fog rolls in a couple of lanes towards your garden, so you cannot see what's happening there. The plants can though, and they will shoot if they are in range of something. So it's nighttime, you're going to have to place down mushrooms and make sure you use lily pads. The first plant you get during the fog levels is a sea shroom. A sea shroom is a puff shroom, but it can be planted without using a lily pad, but it does have a higher cooldown and is more situational. You're also introduced to a new zombie called the Jack-in-the-Box zombie. The Jack-in-the-Box zombie has 17 health, which is the same as the Dolphin Rider or the pole vaulting zombie, but it cranks up a music box and eventually it will explode if you don't take it out. I only had this happen once during gameplay, but just make sure to get rid of them as fast as you can. You'll know when they're there because the music takes over everything else, even if you can't see them in the fog. In 4-2, there are no zombies, but you get a new plant called the Planter. Plant Lantern. Anyway, what it does is basically dissipates the fog around it so you can see in a 3x3 area around it. These plants usually don't last for too long. In 4-3, you get the Cactus. I wish the Cactus was cooler. I wish it had more gimmicks to it. But for its purposes, it's just a pea shooter that has one gimmick that counters one zombie. That zombie is the balloon zombie. The balloon zombie can basically float over all your defenses and take out a lawnmower or eat your brains very fast if you do not have a cactus. Make sure to plant them a lot at the start so you don't get a balloon zombie to get the jump on you. Make sure to place down those cactuses and you should be fine. 4-4, you get the Blover. It's better than the Cactus, and it's better than the Planter. It does both jobs, and it doesn't take up spot up in your garden. It blows away all zombies that are in the air, and it also gets rid of all fog for a time. It is 100 sun, but it does recharge really fast. There is no zombie during this level, so just keep on playing like you're playing and watch out for those Dolphin Rider zombies, and you should be fine. 4-5 is a minigame level. It's Vase Breaker. Vase Breaker is where you break vases, try to get plants out of them, and sometimes you break vases and get zombies out of them. Kill all the zombies in the vases and break all the vases to win the level. It's pretty easy. Get yourself a squash. 4-6, you get the Split Pea. The Split Pea is a pea shooter that has a normal pea shooter face at the front, but a repeater face at the back of it, so it can deal double the damage to zombies that are behind it. This is used when you're fighting against the Digger Zombie. The Digger Zombie digs behind your plants and pops up and tries to clear your lane from there. Put a few Split Peas down at the start of the level and you should be fine. Just make sure to watch out for them. In 4-7, you get the Starfruit. Spam the Starfruit. The Starfruit is so good at just spamming projectiles at people, it's not even funny. And it shoots behind it so it can get rid of Digger Zombies, so you just spam it everywhere, and you win. In 4-8, you get the Pumpkin. It basically makes any plant a walnut as long as you plant a pumpkin on it. The pumpkin is a defensive plant, but it can be planted on other stuff, like normal sunflowers. You also have to fight against the Pogo Zombie. The Pogo Zombie has the same health of 17 as the Jack-in-the-Box Zombie and other jumping zombies, but it's just so very annoying to deal with. It's like a pole vaulter zombie on steroids. Good movement speed, but it jumps over every plant you have in that lane and immediately reaches your house or lawnmower. This is the only time in the run-through I actually lost a lawnmower because, you know, Pogo zombies are bogus. In 4-9, you get the Magnet Shroom. Magnet Shroom is, well, a magnet, and it gets rid of all metal. This includes Pogos, bucket heads, the football zombies helmet, anything metal. It's really good. Try to get a few when you're fighting this last level. 4-10 is a conveyor belt level. It's easy, but you have limited visibility because it's dark outside and the only way anything is illuminated is with lightning. Sometimes you might see a zombie called the Yeti Zombie. I didn't find it in this playthrough and it's quite rare, but it's an interesting little find. It's supposed to be kind of elusive, and it has a lot of health at 46. And if you spot it for too long, it will escape back and walk away from the garden. Since we survived the second night, things are looking up in the Plants vs. Zombies game. It looks like the zombies has found out a way to get on the roof.
Alright, the roof is the last level in the game, but it's also probably the wackiest. You got some issues already. You cannot plant on tiles that do not have plant pots on them, and you cannot use normal throwing projectile plants. These lobbing plants are usually called pults. Plants are pretty wacky. They can get rid of the diver zombies in the pool just by hitting them on their head because they lob their shots. And they also make it so they can fire stuff on the roof. 5-1, the first roof level, you get the cabbage bolt. The cabbage bolt does the equivalent damage of a pea shooter, but it takes 2 times longer to fire and does 2 times the damage. It's kind of cute though also. I like the cabbage face. The Cabbage Patch Kid, oh my god. You also meet a new zombie, the Bungee Zombie. The Bungee Zombie's stupid. It basically either takes away a random plant or drops a zombie. And yeah, it's hard to kill. You need an insta-kill or a chomper to get it, and it's just kind of dumb. 5-2, you get the flower pot. It's like a lily pad, but for the roof. Pretty cool, I guess. You can also place it down in normal levels as another layer of defense, except on lily pads. Just keep on placing down those flower pots and put down cabbage pults. Act like it's a normal Plants vs. Zombies level, and you should be good, gracious, great. In 5-3, you get the Kernel Pult. The Kernel Pult deals 1 damage normally, but deals 2 damage when it throws butter. Butter also stuns zombies. I usually keep a row of 2 just because it makes it so there's more likely a stun because of the butter. Overall, they're a pretty good plant. Also introduced to the ladder zombie. The ladder zombie has almost all the same characteristics as a screen door zombie, but it moves faster. And just like the screen door zombie, it can get hit directly with a pult, but it can also leave its ladder on top of defensive plants, making it so the zombies walk right over it. Down a little butter, place down a little cabbage, you should be able to win the game. 1-4, you get the coffee bean. Coffee bean makes it so plants that usually sleep during the day, like mushrooms, are now woken up. Usually use this for only the magnet shroom and for one of the upgraded plants. Level is very metal based, so please use that magnet shroom and spam it because you at least want a row to get rid of all the bucket heads, football zombies, and ladders coming your way. 5-5 is a conveyor belt level for some reason, but you can only use chompers as your main offensive plant. It's pretty easy. You just spam chompers and you put pumpkins on them. Zombies don't really have a chance. 5-6, you get the garlic. When the garlic gets bitten, the zombies usually get disgusted and walk into another lane. A good plant if you have more corralling ideas for your setup, but I never used it in this playthrough. Boring level. Just keep on doing what you're doing. Place down kettle and cabbage bolts and you should be fine. In 5-7, you get the umbrella leaf. The umbrella leaf is used to stop bungee jumping zombies and basketballs. Plant them in every 3x3 area you can because that's how much area it takes, and it should be able to cover all your plants. It's good because the umbrella leaf is actually a direct counter to catapult zombie. The catapult zombie is on a vehicle that uses a basketball hoop to chuck basketballs at your plants. Direct counters towards it are the umbrella leaf and also the spike weed that can take out its tires, but you can't place spike weeds on the roof. Down those umbrella leaves, make sure you have a good defense and you should be fine for the upcoming level. 5-8, you get the marigold. It makes money instead of sun. This plant's trash. It's don't use it. Don't use it unless you're doing that money strategy on Last Stand. It's trash. So fight against the biggest mamma jamma zombie in the game. Gargantuar, not the gargantuan like some British people say. They say gargantua. It's gargantuar. Gargantuar has a staggering 150 health. It takes 2 insta kills to kill.
Smashes plants, killing them instantly with its weapon it's holding. Throws an imp when it is at half health. This is a small zombie with just about only 3 health. Basically made to disrupt your back line, but as long as you have something there that can deal with it, you'll be fine and place down pumpkins. You see it when it's thrown by a gargantuar. It's kills to deal with the gargantuars, and make sure to place down your normal pults so they can get actual damage done to them. -9, you get the melon pult. The melon pult's a charismatic gentleman. Look at him. He's so round. He's so perfect. God, I wish I was the melon pult. No new zombies this time around, but you don't need any other pult besides the melon pult now, so just spam that. It's so good. It does AoE damage. It does so much damage. It's 4 damage on the target it hits, and then 1.5 damage to each target it doesn't. It's so good. No new zombies this time around, and I think you should be fine because you the melon pult is easy, and then at the end of the level you get a note. Oh no. Your zombie boss is here. A big mech that looks like a gargantuar, and he's throwing stuff at you, and he's hitting you. You gotta use a conveyor. Oh wait, it's conveyor belt level. Just kill him. Just kill him. Just kill him. Whenever he charges up an ice ball, put a jalapeno in that lane, and whenever he charges up a fireball, just put an ice shroom down, and it will freeze both him and get rid of the ball. If you don't do that, it's gonna get rid of that lane and a lawnmower. But it's a conveyor belt level, so it just game's over. See you later. See you next time. Sunflower. One, two, three. There's a zombie on your lawn. There's a zombie on your lawn. There's a zombie on your lawn. We don't want zombies on the lawn. I know you're type tall, dark, and dead. You wanna bite all the petals off of my head and then eat the brains of the one who planted me here. I'm just a sunflower, but see me power an entire infantry. You like the taste of brains, we don't like zombies.
I used to play football.
Play football.
Road cones protect my head.
Cone on his head.
I have a screen door shield.
Screen door shield.
We are the undead.
There's a zombie on your lawn. There's a zombie on your lawn. There's a zombie on your lawn. We don't want zombies on the lawn. Maybe it's time to reevaluate. I know you have a lot of food on your plate. Brains are quite rich in cholesterol. You're dead, so it doesn't matter. Instead, we'll use the solar power to make a lawn defense at any hour.
I like your tricycle.
Tricycle.
There's butter on my head.
Butter on his head.
I'm gonna eat your brains.
Oh no, no, no.
We are the undead.
There's a zombie on your lawn. There's a zombie on your lawn. There's a zombie.